Okay, so we are Don't Panic, advertising agency, and we have a client called Random Acts of Kindness for their charity campaign for 2016. We've read your proposal, and we'd like you to tell us a bit more about your idea.
So, in Hollywood, Random Acts of Kindness can be fun. Think Evan Almighty. Think why the whole film is based on this. Let's face this is funny. Sadly, charity advertisements can be boring. Let's face it, this is boring. Introduction. Okay. People like Amy White. Here she is. Amy's 21, she's a university student. She loves soul music and romantic comedy films. Or Ben. Ben is 18 years old, he's an A-level student. He loves rock music and action films. Key message is to make giving to charity exciting for teenagers. Most teenagers are selfish and they like to get something in return. Hopefully my proposal will grab their attention and give something to talk about. Okay. The start of this advert is starts with a group of students in a classroom right at the end of the lesson, and the teacher says, "That's it, have a nice weekend," but all except for an attractive girl, attractive boy. The girl is sitting on her desk looking very, very sad, and the guy is on his headphones listening to his music. And the middle of this. So the guy is on his headphones when he's on his so the guy's on his laptop when he's listening to his music, and the guy said to this girl, what happened? And she says, "My boyfriend has split up after 2 years." And he says, "Oh, that's too bad." And then he puts his headphones back on, and what happens next? The girl starts crying even more. Here it is. Here it is. And the guy puts his headphones back on. And last, the guy, he was jumping out of his desk. He runs to the hallway, and then he sees this member of staff's office where he sees a bunch of flowers where he's watering them off, and finally he gives the flowers to the girl. Here it is. Here it is. And the end bit is the girl is standing opposite to the guy, and she yanks off his headphones, and she kisses him in a passionate way. Here it is. And the key message says, "Random acts of kindness. Don't do it in public." So my target audience is age 16 to 25-year-old, both males and females. Urban college students would appeal to most people in the age range. The guy who is a bit daring, who is appeal to reformers and explorers. The girl would appeal to mainstreamers and strugglers. It probably wouldn't appeal to aspirers, resigners, or succeeders. So my focus group feedback is, so I generated 2 ideas. One was based on the Rock Band concert. The second one is the one I just talked about. We agreed on the second one because it was better, because it can go more viral. They thought that the kissing was not suitable. I disagree. More taboo. It can have more taboo and more viral. Surprise, unexpected result. Sex appeal, they're both attractive people. Platforms, where it will be distributed. The media platform I choose is YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I say YouTube is a lot better to to distribute the advert because it's got a bigger, wider audience. And I should put it on Facebook so people can share it, and Instagram so people can post it. Okay. The ethical moral consideration from the budget. So we're going to be shooting out a classroom, which is easy to shoot. The time frame, an hour after school. Budget minimal, no special props required except for a bunch of flowers, 2 laptops and headphones. And all except attractive boy and girl, but I don't know where I'm going to find them from. The ethical moral consideration is kissing not too passionate. Conclusion. Not sure what Evan Almighty is this about. But this would appeal to the target demographic. If it's surprising enough, it could go viral. It will be quick and easy to produce. Any questions?
Yeah, it's a really nice idea. I like the research in there about how charity adverts can be boring, and this is yeah. I think it works as a university type thing, a bit more than a college, because in a college, if a girl's crying,
Yeah.
the first thing that would happen is the teacher would have to go over and find out what's going on, because technically that in a college,
Yes.
that girl's a child until they're 19. So under safeguarding things, if someone's in tears, the teacher has got a responsibility to go and try and find out what's going on. And for this to work, I think you need the member of staff to be out of the room, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think the only way this would work is if the member of staff had already left and then the girl starts crying.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So that's something to consider. I like the idea in terms of, I think it's, I can see why you've got the viral appeal on it. And I think if the kiss was on the cheek or something, it might work.
Yeah.
But I think one of the issues I've got with it as a campaign is if this was for something like Match.com, it would work because it sounds like almost like a dating website advert. Do you see what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you
I know
two
what
get
you mean.
together. And I think the message of a random act of kindness that's selfless, so you don't expect anything back from it, I think that gets lost. And I think the second message of the girl then being compelled to do something nice for someone else randomly, that's not in there either. So you know the idea of passing it on?
Yes.
So I think you need to think about that key message isn't in there at the moment. What you've got is an act of kindness, but by her kissing him, it's not so much our campaign anymore for our charity, it starts moving into like a dating website. Yeah? And I think you've got to, you know, there is something in that kiss of making it go viral, being unexpected, but I think without her then doing something nice for someone else, that kind of, do you see what I mean? It doesn't, the client isn't really getting across their message then, okay? But I like the opening, particularly of what you said about, you know, how Evan Almighty is basically this idea. Where did you get that from? That's an interesting idea, that.
Got it from the internet.
Got it
from the actual film itself.
Okay, good. And I quite like the fact, as I said, you mentioned about like charity ads can be a bit boring and a bit dull.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything that she could do that she could pass on, like an act of kindness? What could she do after this to do something nice for someone else?
When the girl starts crying, so when the guy is running to the hallway and where he sees a bunch of flowers,
Yeah.
and where he shushes the water off of the flowers, and then he goes back to the classroom and he gives the flowers to the actual girl, where she says thank you.
Yeah.
And she says thank you, and they'll probably meet again on the next day, then become boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I like the idea. I think you can film it. As I said, I think you need to work on that idea of the pass it on message coming through. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
But thank you for pitching, and thank you for your time. Well done, Alex.
I like that.
Well done. That